Mm. Hello, hello. We're gonna jump right in and let me quiet the music. Welcome to this live. I'm so glad we get to spend 15 minutes together. It's going to be fast, powerful too. So get your notebooks. So today I'm going to dive into something very close to my heart. How to not just survive, but really thrive when homeschooling multiple kids. So if you have more than one kiddo, grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's chat about making that everyday chaos work in your favor. Have one kiddo, stay with me. I promise you, you're gonna take away some golden nuggets that you can absolutely apply to your everyday life. So stay with me, whether you have one kid or more kids. So here is the mindset shift that changed everything for me. So are you ready? I call it follow the youngest, or the youngest sets the pace. So it's not about slowing down your older kids, it's about anchoring your day so the youngest feels included and the older one steps into leadership. And that's how we can build a home where everyone learns together, and that's where real growth and connection happen. And just a little background story why I decided to have this theme for our live this week is because of after reading all your amazing comments on the Captain Fantastic film that I posted 2 posts prior. So it reached over 1 million of you, and there are over 300 comments, and a lot of them are very, very insightful. And I just wanted to touch up upon one, homeschooling, and two, if you have multiple kids. As you saw in the movie Captain Fantastic, there were quite a wide age range between the kids, and there were more than one. So that's the ideal environment that Dr. Maria Montessori envisioned. And stay with me, I'm going to explain why. Just quick diversion. During my chat I had with Tim Selden, actually, I'm bringing him to my podcast, YouTube. So if Dr. Maria Montessori is the mother of Montessori, Tim is definitely the father. And he shared something that stuck with me. And come a little closer if you're multitasking. He said that children learn more from each other than they do from a parent, teacher, or guide. Let that sink in, right? So when you got multiple kids, ta-da, you're giving them that built-in opportunity to learn from each other naturally. Okay, don't have multiple kids? Take your kid to a playground. Make sure there is some form of socialization. Enroll them in extracurricular activity or host, let's say, a crafting session at your home once a week. You can make it happen, right? You gotta just get resourceful. But that idea really reframed how I saw all that sibling interaction. So when Julia was 6 and little Adrian is not little anymore, right? If you saw in my stories yesterday, we are shooting for Olympics with his javelin. So he's not that little anymore, but he was back then. They're 4 years apart. And although in the ideal Montessori environment, the age range is about 3 years. So we want multi-age environment. It worked with 4 years too. So if you have 4 years apart, 5 years apart, don't worry about it. And stay with me. I'm going to give you tips on how to leverage that opportunity. So when Adrian was 2, I started full-blown Montessori curriculum. Like we did all 5 core areas in one day, but that's a whole different discussion. So when I started, so I had Julia 6, Adrian 2, and let me tell you, it was a daily adventure. 1 minute, I will be explaining to Julia how to diagram a sentence, and the next, I will be gently prying a Lego piece out of Adrian's mouth. And snack negotiations, tell me if you can relate. Julia definitely had a snack plan, and Adrian, he just wanted everything she had, which led to some pretty impressive peace talks. But here's what I realized. Following Adrian's rhythm did not mean holding Julia back. It meant giving her a chance to lead. So when Adrian was stacking blocks, Julia was right next to him, building a whole block city. And she would explain her big plans to him, and he would mimic her movements. And suddenly they were both learning. Julia felt like a teacher, and Adrian felt like he was part of the action. Or let me give you another example. Let's say I was helping Julia with her reading. What I would do, I would hand Adrian some picture books, and he would sit there flipping the pages like he's reading, right? Because he wants to mimic what his big sister does. But during the process, there is still auditory perception. He's listening her reading out loud. There is a visual connection. We're connecting objects to words. So a lot is happening neurologically in the developing brain. And so here's a practical tip. Also, I kept a little basket of big kids' tools, and you can place there, let's say, safe scissors, little notebooks. So what Julia would do, she would assign Adrian his own task while we did homework. Remember, right? Kids listen more to their siblings, to other kids, than they're going to listen to you. So instead of me assigning, say, okay, honey, now you're going to do this, I would empower Julia to be the teacher. And of course, Adrian would listen to his big sister. So that worked wonders. Remember, a big kid basket, and have your oldest sibling assign work to the younger. Because what happened? Adrian felt included, and Julia, oh my goodness, she felt empowered. And yes, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Some days Adrian would have, meltdown, or Julia would get frustrated. Hey, it's life. But even in those moments, we found learning. I would talk them through it, say, hey, it's okay to be upset. Let's figure this out together. And they learned emotional regulation right alongside friction. So if you are ever feeling like you're spinning plates, just remember, you are creating something amazing. You're not meant, and come back to me if you're multitasking. This is important. You are not meant to give each child the same thing. You are meant to meet them exactly where they are, even if it looks like giving them different things. And that's the magic. And just a few more tips, and I have to run. I have to pick Julia up. So alongside following the youngest sets the pace, I have few more tips for you. But first, I want you to keep this in mind. I want you to be the North Star. So you're not micromanaging every step, and instead, you are setting a direction, a steady, guiding presence. And your kids, they will explore, lead, and sometimes get lost in a chaos. Hey, it's part of life, right? But you're always there, steady and reassuring, helping them find their way back to growth and connection. And isn't that the key, right? Growth and connection. So here are 4 more practical tips besides the youngest sets the pace that I want you to remember. And I'm going to go quickly over them. 1, anchor the day with the familiar start, then choose flexibility over rigidity. And I know this sounds like a mouthful, so I promise I'm going to come back to it. 2, teach together when possible, as much as you can, and encourage all the kids, you know what to do to lead and help younger siblings. 3, create environments that foster independence. And you gotta accept imperfections, because above all, we need to focus on progress and connection, not perfection. So I promise to come back right to the anchor with the familiar. So I will share how I did it with my children, and over the last 15 years, I have helped over 1,400 families do the same, and I'm walking my talk. I'm teaching what I'm preaching. So what I would strongly suggest is to start the day with the grounding anchor. And what I mean by that, something consistent. And what we did and what our MCAP members are doing, we follow a morning circle to set the stage. But this is important. Keep the rest of your day flexible. So you see, children thrive in routine, predictability, and order. And that is why a familiar morning anchor, like a morning circle, helps them feel safe, secure, and ready to learn before the day naturally flexes with their needs, and that will happen. So for example, during the morning circle, you can set the theme, sing a favorite rhyming song, check the calendar and weather. If you are my MCAP member, all that is available for you inside of the basics course. So check it out. I break it step by step. So what this morning circle does, it anchors everyone in a shared rhythm. After that anchor, that's important, adjust the activities or order based on your children's need or energy that particular day. So let's say after your morning circle, you notice your kids are full of energy, right? They had a great night's sleep and they're just bouncing off the walls like little tornadoes. So instead of a sit-down reading task that you had planned, you could opt for an active spelling game, like having them jump on ladder mats to spell words. Or alternatively, on a lower energy days, let's say they're under the weather, they're not feeling well, or they didn't sleep well, you might shift to cozying up with a read aloud and some blankets, lights, pillows. So in short, the activity type changes based on whether they need to move or rest, while still keeping the learning goal in sight. So do you see? We still tackled language, reading, phonics. We just changed the presentation and the setup. So after your morning circle, I would suggest moving on to like a 30-minute block of concentrated work. That's right when everyone is fresh, full of energy. That's your prime time. So I would suggest doing your 2 most important core areas of learning. It's your language and math. So with older kids, you might be tackling more complex tasks, and with younger ones, focusing on foundational skills, yet still share the same theme. And encourage all the kids to help a sibling with a concept or a reading prompt. Meanwhile, and this is your golden nugget. So if you remember nothing, remember this. Have an independent activity ready when things fall apart, and they will, like a sensory bin. So one child can always explore if you are assisting another. Okay, after that focus time, so we had our morning circle, we had the focused block language math, then shift into a group nature walk. You can, again, connecting with the theme, whether you're going on a bird scavenger hunt, flower scavenger hunt, whatever, nature scavenger hunt, listening walk, whatever you're doing outside. But let the older kid lead the discussion, and embrace this real world learning moment. Okay, my sweet friend, I'm right on time. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me today. I will be hosting a free live masterclass next Wednesday. You have to comment ready. Let me see, other comments are working. Give me a thumbs up. Hello from Spain. Yeah, live, that should be working. Okay, my sweet friend, make sure while I'm still here, right? I have to be live with you to trigger the DM automation. Comment ready and it will trigger automation. I'll slide right into your DMs with the link to register. Yep, I'm seeing some ready live. Let's comment. Let me see some more ready. Ready. Yes. Are you ready? Yep. Yes. Where was it? Yes. So next Wednesday, I'm hosting a free live masterclass where I'm sharing with you my proprietary framework that is generally reserved for my private clients. It's how to beef up your homeschool. Go from scattered to focused, from overwhelmed to confident, and how to leverage your momentum without restarting. Okay, that was a mouthful too. I really hope to see you there. It's totally free, but you have to comment ready to register. And I have some juicy bonuses for you if you attend live. So as soon as you register, it will take you to the landing page where all the details are. I spent maybe 40 hours designing that landing page, way too long, but I hope you appreciate it. I'm like an aesthetic girl. I have this like all or nothing. Okay, I have 1 minute left. I just want to appreciate you, my friend, for being here with me today. And you know what? I appreciate you more than you know. And I really want you to remember this. You are doing more than you think just by showing up for your children, for your family. And I know you do that every single day. And before you move on with your day, I want you to celebrate one small win. Not something huge, not some Pinterest perfect moment. Maybe you stayed calm during a meltdown. Hey, it's hard, I know. Or maybe everyone laughed together at lunch. Or when your science experiment did not go as planned. You still had a good laugh, right? Or maybe you simply made it through the day with love. Still leading the way. That counts. Because when we only celebrate huge milestones, we accidentally train our brain to believe happiness only comes from big achievements. But real joy, the kind that sustains motherhood and homeschooling, is built in the small, ordinary moments we choose to notice and appreciate every day. So tonight, pause for a second, ask yourself, what went right today? And I promise, there is so much more goodness than you think. Okay, my sweet friend, thank you for your grace. I appreciate you so much. And I will see you at my masterclass on Wednesday. And I hope to catch you during my next weekly live. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon, right? No dead ends. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you. Of course, ready. I'm seeing some comments. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, I'll play some music while I will end the live. Bye.